What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel for another video. I know we're doing a lot of videos lately, but what we're going to do is we're going to finally go ahead and review the Pathfinder 2. Okay, so I have two Pathfinder 1 reviews, the Pathfinder SE reviews, and I just recently got this one. I've actually only had this out in the woods a very few times. I used the geofence feature, and one thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get into this. I kind of did a little bit of side-by-side comparison in a couple videos back, but now we're going to go ahead and break into this thing, and we're going to go ahead and go over my thoughts about this product in general. You guys know here on this channel we are Dogtra. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of Dogtra, dude. All their products, I really enjoy their products. I think they're high quality, good products for a really severely decent price. Please don't raise your prices. Drop them, guys. Drop them. Help us out. You know what I mean? So it took me quite a few years to actually come out of pocket to buy this, because what I actually did is I bought this and I traded my old one over to my brother for a dog box and some other stuff, and just kind of made it all make sense and kind of pay for itself. So right off rip, you guys, you come with your manual pamphlet, as same thing as all the Dogtra products. Very high detail in here. Anything you need to know about this product is definitely right here in this pamphlet. Okay, so sweet deal on that. So one thing that I'm going to just tell y'all, Dogtra, where is my Dogtra vest? Okay, so there's no rhyme or reason why I don't have a Dogtra vest in this, especially since it came in the older version. So definitely put that in there. I don't care if people don't use it. I didn't use mine, but it was definitely in there, and I definitely loved having it, and I thought, what a good product. It has extras, okay? So don't skimp out on that. So this is directly to you, Dogtra. I'm not giving anybody slack, man. I'm just telling y'all. So right off rip, comes with the splitter, as the other one. Okay, so as Pathfinder 1 comes with the splitter. This one is a little bit more different because this comes with a charging block instead of being a one cohesive unit like the Pathfinder 1. I don't really mind. I think that's fine and dandy. I don't have any issue with that. I'm just showing y'all the difference there. Definitely comes with the bag of all your little trinkets and goodies to switch out stuff and do that whole thing. Okay, so on to this handheld device. There is a couple things about this in particular, and I wish I could go grab my other one, but I don't have it anymore. My brother's got it. But so this right here, this lanyard, I know it's extremely heavy duty. I know that it is probably a better, higher quality kind of deal than the last series of this. But I will tell you this. This is uncomfortable on my neck, and it is extremely long, okay? This thing is so long. I know it's got the little adjuster on the back, and I can do that whole thing, and I'm just complaining at this point. But this is really long, okay? This is kind of uncomfortably long. And this little bit right here is what concerns me about this one right here. Okay, so we're just going to get out of the bad out of the way, then we're going to get into the good, guys. So just stick with me. So this little hump thing right here, and how y'all have done this is just kind of clunky compared to the one. So the handheld unit, I get that it has the button on there for like a quick action. To me, and the way that this works is, now this is where I'm going to get after you guys a little bit, because I got after every single shot collar I've reviewed this far for this specific reason. And that is that I cannot press this button and have a delay. Or even have that, right? That is a good security to have. If I bump this, or if I rub it up against a tree, I'm not going to accidentally shot my dog. If I have, oh, you need to press this twice, or you press it once, wait a second, then it's armed, right? So you have no arming, it's just immediately always armed. Okay, so another thing here that I want to just tell y'all, and I want to just tell y'all on this. Y'all need to patch this. Y'all need to fix this, because it will help you out, okay? It will help you out and make your product that much better. If I am on my phone, which I can't use my phone because y'all got my phone. If I'm on my phone, whatever mode that I'm on my phone, if I set my phone, if I'm vibrating on my phone, this button vibrates. If I'm shocking on my phone, this button shocks. If I'm toning, this button tones, which is all fine and good, except for the fact of the matter is when I press it on the phone, it's shocking, okay? So if I am in the field, okay, so this is a scenario. If I'm in the field and I have my phone and I'm putting this in here, however I'm running it, and I have my phone and I'm shocking, I want it set on shock. I cannot set it to shock without shocking my dog. I cannot set it to vibrate without vibrating my dog. I cannot set it to tone without it toning, okay? So if I were to say, I want to arm this button to be vibrate, right? I have to go on my phone and press vibrate. As soon as I vibrate, my dog gets vibrated. Okay, so if my dog is a mile deep in the woods and I want to set this button to something different, I cannot set it to something different without that action happening to my dog. Okay, so that is one big, huge thing. And I've got after everybody for this, every single shot collar. So Dogtra, you're no different. I love you guys to death. I think this product is actually great. But I think that is one patch that y'all definitely need to make is I need to be able to switch between modes before it actually does something to my dog, right? Because maybe I'm waiting for my dog to do something and I'm being prepared, okay? I need to switch the mode over. Maybe I am vibrating the dog and I have it set to vibrate and I'm watching my dog or my dog is doing something. I'm going, if he keeps doing that, then I'm going to try to shock him. But I need to be ready because what if I'm not ready and I have to go through and do that, but it's shocked early or whatever. So y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get exactly what I'm saying. So this piece of equipment right here, the antenna out the side instead of up the middle. I think I got real used to the antenna being up the middle. This antenna, I think it doesn't seem as good as the one on the previous unit. And I feel like the previous unit really had a lot to do with, see how this is very smooth finish, okay? The previous unit had like, I don't even know, like grips kind of engraved in it, or like had like a pattern on it that was kind of grippy and not so smooth. But who hangs on to this anyways? But I'm just pointing out things that I noticed, Dogtra. Okay, so another thing here that I did like about this, okay, is that when I turn it on, it beeps. When I connect, this actually has a beep to it. So that is one thing that I think was in a good direction. I think just the button configuration is a little bit, depending on what hand you are. This is definitely a right-handed unit, right? So bear with me, y'all. I'm going to do it to you. It's just what it is. Okay, so this is definitely a right-handed unit, okay? So this is a right-handed unit. Where's my buttons over here for my lefties? Okay, so this is why the other Dogtra, the Pathfinder 1, was good because I had the buttons down the middle and it was ambidextrous control. It was ambidextrous. This should be here for a lefty. This should be here for a righty. In the middle, ambidextrous. Okay, so I hope y'all taking notes for Pathfinder 3, y'all. So let's just keep on going right down the list. This is just me breaking down this. So I'm almost done with this. I'm trying to actually nitpick it a little bit. So we have, I think we're about through with that. I think getting used to this one, turning on, it's kind of like I press the button and I have to just keep doing it to y'all, man. When I'm pressing this, can you see that can you see the light? If I'm looking at this dead on, you can't see the light for that button unless you're way over here. I easily cover up that light. So it might beep and do all this stuff, but you can't see the light. Put the buttons in the middle, man. Okay, so that's it for the receiver. Let's talk about the collar. As always, Dogtra definitely performed very, very well with the collar. What's up with the yellow? I don't know. Nothing wrong with it, but it's kind of like this is a little bit different than the one on the Pathfinder 1. I'm going to say huge fan of Pathfinder 1. I have nothing against this. This is my first mini unit. Okay, so this is a mini. For it being a mini, I am extremely happy with the mini, okay? I'm happy with the mini. It completely and totally serves its purpose. The one thing that I am not so happy with about the mini or the handheld is the battery life. I get that it's a smaller collar, but I tell you one thing, I take this thing in the woods once, twice, it needs a recharge. My full-size collars, I could run them 10, 15 times before I need a recharge, right? They just had the battery in them, okay? I feel like I take this out one good long hunt or have it out on the dogs for a while, it's needing a recharge. I get that it's a mini, so cut them a break for it being a mini. I understand the battery life is smaller because it's a smaller unit, can't hold as big as battery. That's all fine and good. That's the only drawback that I found between this and the full size is that the fact of it just doesn't have as big as battery life as the full-size collar. You can still get a full-size collar to go with the Pathfinder 2, so don't discredit them on that. Okay, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the collar, I feel like, I could be mistaken about this, is this one was round and this one was round. They weren't a little bitty square one and a big round one. Well, that's just, nitpicky kind of stuff. Definitely always big fan of the collars. The little one feels a little bit more dainty than the full-size one. The full-size one's like, dude, I could knock somebody out with that thing. This one, not so much. But all in all, high Dogtra quality. Highly recommend Dogtra. You guys know the deal. Use Melbrook5 at Dogtra.com to get a discount of 5% on a product, $200 or more. And I'm telling you right now, that 5% adds up when you're talking about buying one of these. You're talking about, a good chunk of change that you're saving. So make sure you use that. I'll put that down there. Okay, so on the app, I definitely think they have packed a very lot of new features into the app. Okay, so the one thing that I really highly praised the Pathfinder 1 for is the fact that the app was very easy to use. Okay, so it was a very intuitive app. It wasn't very hard to navigate. It wasn't at all difficult. I mean, I think you could give that thing to your grandpa and he would be able to use it, and that's just the God's honest truth. It is so intuitive and easy and uncluttered to do. Okay, so I get that the new fancy Pathfinder 2 needs more bells and whistles, and it's got the geofence, and it's got they have the what is that? The perimeter. You can keep the mobile fence, so you can walk with the dog, and the dog stays in that fence. Absolutely a good idea if you don't want to leash a dog out of the woods. But again, I think just on my some other reviews that I've done about these kind of geofence things, I think Dogtra hit it out of the park. Okay, hit it out of the park with the geofence, and they are super accurate on their tracking. Okay, so that's one thing why I really trust Dogtra. Okay, is because they're super accurate on the tracking. You might get a little wonky for a tracker or two, like you're in between a couple of them, but for the most part, they are right on the money with it. And there's nothing to really be worried about there. Okay, so when we're talking about a geofence, wireless fence, if I put a wireless fence that is GPS tracked around my property and I have a GPS that is not accurate, my dog could be showing out of town and that thing be shocking it and it's sitting on my back porch. Okay, that's one thing that I've always looked down upon about these wireless geofences or whatever the heck it is. But Dogtra is probably one of the only products that I would trust to leave on my dog and put it in the yard on, because not only does they have a very high quality product and you pay a very good amount of money for this product and it's been reliable, right? I would definitely make sure that your unit particularly is performing the way that it's supposed to perform before we leave a dog outside on a geofence. But that's our due diligence as owners, as purchasers, and blah, blah, blah. And, but if we have what I seem to be the going rate is a very reliable, accurate unit that Dogtra produces, I don't see a single issue with putting a dog on a geofence. And I will tell you this right now, the reason why I trust Dogtra over any of these other products is just because the fact of I can look at it on my phone and I can physically look and see my dog. I can see where my geofence is at. I can see the perimeter. You can make the perimeter short or big, right? So we can give it a huge warning zone, a little warning zone. And we can set it to where I believe the first initial one, it vibrates, okay? When we get it outside of the geofence, it vibrates back, okay? I like that because my dogs are trained to come back to a vibrate, and they're also trained to come back to a tone. They're just trained on shot collars in general. They know the idea. My Gypsy, I put this on her and put her out there in the yard, and I watched her. She got out here and she got to have her nice little run in the yard, and she got to the boundary, got her little vibrate, came right back. She didn't even push on any further because she's good about it. Another dog, and this is where I kind of worry about these kind of products in general, nothing to do with Dogtra at all here, but a dog that is on-trained to a vibrate or to a stimulation to return, they might just hightail it and just keep on getting burned up, right? So there's like safety measures and all that kind of things that goes into this. So this one here, which I have yet to be able to do it, so let me grab the box for y'all. Let me see where it says this at. Okay, right here on the back. Let's go over the back of this. Okay, so for one, we got us a nice little squirrel dog. Got us a nice little beagle there for the mini product. Good for y'all. Okay, so 4 mile tracking range. I've never tried to go farther than 1,500 yards. Okay, so if you're 4 miles from a dog, yeah, it really helps to be able to have that capability, but nobody ever goes that far. Maybe some bear hunters or something like that, but you're not going to put a mini on a bear hunter. The full size goes to 9. Okay, so the offline maps, also always been a high praise of mine for Dogtra. The maps are free, the maps are free, the maps are free, the maps are free. Okay, and they can be used offline. The maps are free. Even if you don't have service and you have no maps downloaded, you can still track a dog, okay? So you don't have to have a cell phone, you don't have to have a cell service to do this. And then, okay, 2-second GPS update rate, definitely use that. I don't see why not. I think it eats the battery up a little bit on the mini. Tracking only mode, so that is the mode where you can't shock or buzz or do anything to them, only track them. The e-fence, geofence, and mobile fence, okay? So the geofence is like what the Pathfinder 1 had. There is nothing going to happen to your dog for leaving that fence. What is going to happen is the dog's going to go outside the border, and it's going to relay a message to the phone and say, blah, 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 outside of geofence, blah, 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 inside of geofence. That is it. Okay, so then the e-fence, the dog will get shocked or toned or whatever if it leaves or if it hits the warning zone, okay? So the sleep mode, I haven't quite looked into that, but I believe that they have this to where you can set this to sleep mode on the phone and it will conserve battery but really stay connected. But if, like, say, we have to leave a dog in the woods overnight and we need to be able to track it when we come back, we can put it in sleep mode and come back on sleep mode and it'll have battery enough to track that dog. Now, don't quote me on that because I believe that that's what that is, okay? So locate light definitely has the little beacon light, so that is one big huge thing, especially when I was running my coon dog in the woods at night or running Tilly in the woods at night. Sometimes, you know, like I had the little collar lights right here that go on the collar. These have them right here. So when I put these on my dogs, I always face them directly forward and I cut them loose. And if I kind of am just kind of wanting to pay attention to what my dog's doing and see them without having to watch my GPS, I'll just turn that beacon on and I can watch them kind of go through the woods. And it's definitely good. It's definitely a good thing. Like sometimes they'll pick up speed with that little bit of light. They can see a little bit better. Just some things like that. Knit consistent stimulation and audible tone and a pager. Okay, so this was the hugest one for me going from the Pathfinder 1 to the Pathfinder 2. I literally made a video about how upset I was that I purchased the Pathfinder 1 and the Pathfinder 2 dropped like the next day, right? And I went, oh my goodness. And they were the same price. And I went, oh dude, I'd really just step in it on that, right? Because this had the vibrate, the other one did not. This had the e-fence, the other one did not. So this had a lot of features that is very, very good for the money, okay? So, and then the 22% smaller than Pathfinder 2. I believe access on Apple Watch Series 5 and up. Now, I'll have to look into it, and I'll put it right up here. But I thought that the Pathfinder 2 also went to Android. Like I said, don't quote me on that. I will fact check myself and put it right there. So, you know, there we go. Bluetooth 5.0 required on Android app, Google Play, and App Store for the Pathfinder 2 app. And if that's the case, Dogtra, if we can only track on Apple, that's not okay. Get it put on Android as well, okay? So I want to give y'all the best review that I can possibly give for these. And I also definitely want to give y'all some tips to make a better product next go around. And Dogtra, quit being so tight with your stuff. Send me some products to review. I'll review anything. I'm not going to go out and buy these unless it's something that I absolutely need. Now, I know that it's been years, okay? So it's been over a year that I said that I wanted to get this and review this. This is the whole reason why I reached out to y'all in the first place, to get the promotion codes. But I'm telling you that y'all could do a solid and send me some stuff over to review for y'all, okay? I'm not gonna be wishy-washy about it. I'm always gonna be Team Dogtra. I'm on the side of Dogtra, but I'm not gonna give bad reviews about products, and I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. Hope y'all like this Pathfinder 2 review. Y'all keep them treed.